And welcome back to session 5 of the South Island Weightlifting Championships. We have just under 10 seconds before the presentation of athletes. This is our final session from Nelson Weightlifting Club this weekend. We've seen an exciting weekend of weightlifting, and we will be rounded out by the men's 96, 102, 109 and 109 plus kilo divisions. Now, this has been an exciting weekend here in Nelson. They've put on a great weekend. Weather has been fantastic. Light show last night, and we have seen some fantastic weightlifting. Here comes the athletes for the final session. A number of them coming out this morning. Plenty of lifters in this session. Getting told to move around, make some space.
Very good. So from CSI in Christchurch, we have Nathan Beckley. And joining us from CCW in Christchurch for his 20th South Island Championships,
Experienced lifter there in Douglas. Look for some good numbers from him today. Braden Green, men's 96 kilo, hometown hero is called. Henry Leo in the men's 102 kilo division. Pierre, men's 102 kilo division. Aiden, a consistent weightlifter throughout the years. For Callum Helms this afternoon. He's been coaching all weekend. And Ben Pope rounds out the session in the men's 109. So we'll see these men make their way out the back. We'll see the introduction shortly of the officials for session 5. And Douglas just making sure he can put 20 kilos above his head. I'm sure he's going to lift a lot more than that this afternoon. I'm looking forward to watching Douglas lifting. Let's have a little look at the scoreboard. So this is our lineup this afternoon. Big spread of lifters. No doubt some of these athletes will be lifting in their first ever championship event, right through to some very experienced weightlifters, especially that in Douglas Coney Fraser with a 132 entry. Here comes our officials for the day. Jason, our centre referee, and IWF referee. Lou Kelly, she's called the comp, loaded the comp and lifted the comp and now refereeing. Tony, thank you Tony. He joined me on the previous session on the live stream as commentary. And Belinda Greenwood out the back, making sure all of the athletes are keeping to the rules before getting onto the platform. And we thank them for their contribution. So again, we'll just go to that scoreboard. So that is our lineup this afternoon in session 5, the men's 96, 102, 109 kilogram division. I'm going to put you in a holding screen very shortly. Now I'm also going to go get Emma McIntyre to do a short interview, so join us back in about 1 minute and we'll have an interview of Emma McIntyre, who was successful in setting an elite total this weekend. So we'll be back in 30 seconds. And we are live. And welcome back. I'm joined by Lee. Lee, how do I pronounce your last name?
Martel.
Lee Martel.
Yes.
You've got a nice accent.
I have,
Where
yeah.
are we coming from?
So I'm originally from the U.S., grew up in Hawaii, and found my way to New Zealand. Thought I was going to be here for 6 months, ended up being about 10, 11 years.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
Good. And thank you for joining me for the commentary team this afternoon.
Thank you.
How's the weekend been from your half?
Oh, it's been pretty exciting. So usually I tend to be lifting myself, but I got to help out the back for the first few times. So I definitely gained a new appreciation of the coaches and helpers that work with the lifters all weekend, because it gets pretty exciting back there.
Yeah, it does. And I'm just going to flick us over to the scoreboard so everyone can just check. We're in the final 2.5 minutes until our first lift. We've got a few exciting lifters today. So obviously the big standout on this board is Douglas Saccone Fraser, 132, 165 entry. I guess the other exciting thing is to watch younger athletes or newer athletes get onto the championship event for the first time. And I'm always excited to see Callum Helms.
Yes.
Mainly because it's interesting to see someone lift always at the end of a weekend where they've contributed so much, to see how much energy that's sapped from them all weekend.
Yes, yeah, it seems to be one of his things, coaching everybody and then saving the last for himself.
So, again, I am joined by Lee. Now, over this session, you have the opportunity to jump on to the live stream chat, and you can ask us any questions. If you've got questions about weightlifting or anything in particular, we'll do our best to answer those questions for you. So we are just waiting. We've got 1:37 until the start of the competition. We've had a pretty good consistent viewership from around the country from the last day and a half, 2 days. And these athletes will come back and they will watch this live stream, so they will see your support. Make sure when they do come out on stage that you give them a rev up, go, whoever, and let us know where you're watching from. Now, firstly, a massive thank you to Skysportnext for giving us this platform, and I will do a quick playthrough of our sponsors. Thank you so much for supporting us in the final seconds before our first lift. So thank you to our sponsors. Again, to put on a championship event like this, it's no small feat. Nelson Weightlifting has done a fantastic job with the wider South Island weightlifting community this weekend. And we're just about ready to get underway. So Lee, you're still lifting?
Yep. Yeah, we switched up from Dunedin up to Hamilton, so we joined the other North Island lifters.
And let's get into it. Nathan is ready to go. CSI lifter Nathan. No wasting any time for Nathan. And what a good start to the competition. Like a rocket. This is a big event, no doubt, for Nathan. He's out the back with Lee. Lee Attrell's done an amazing amount of work this weekend, and no doubt it's probably just the tip of the iceberg, the work that he does with these athletes. So that was a fantastic first lift from Nathan. Bar moves to 31 kilos. That's an automatic increment. So you'll see in the bottom right hand corner the clock starts counting down from 2 minutes, and an athlete following themselves gets a full 2 minutes. And he's going to move up in weight.
Has it always been 2 minutes, or has that kind of historically changed over time?
If I go back to when I started weightlifting, which was quite a while ago, I think that was about 1998, 1999. I can't even recall. But I do know that they've changed the declaration of weight, so you have to declare what you want to lift, with the first change being required in the first 30 seconds. So you see, Lee made that first change within the first 6 seconds, and when they change, they stop the clock, so it buys more recovery time. He's done well because now he's moved through to 35 kilos. You'll see the big disc come onto the bar. So previously he just had the blocks out. Here comes Nathan for a second, 35. Looked good in his first. Lee's giving him some good technical points to focus on. He waits for the referees. The referees say, a good lift, 3 white lights. He gives the point to his team. Oh, look at that.
Love a good celebration.
Yeah, love a good celebration. Mate, you've still got one more, Nathan. Love a good celebration on lift number 2.
And when you're coaching athletes, so you see them come out to the side with their coach as well, do you have a chat about what athletes prefer? Like, do they like to be slapped? Do they like some final cues? Are they quiet? What's your approach?
That's a really good question. We will look at Lee while he's revving Nathan up for his last lift. Give it a bit more, he's saying. I like to have a defined communication plan with my athletes, so I'm not going to just experiment with them out the back. So they will tell me their keywords that they want to hear. Do they want me to be calm? Do they want me to slap them around the side of the head? So it might be that you see different tactics the coach presents to each individual athlete, depending on what's been communicated prior. So Nathan, looks like Lee's trying to get him really revved up for this last lift. Here we go. He's looked good so far. No mucking around. Hands on the bar. Oh, I think it's good. Let's see the celebration. Oh, throws it down. Let's follow him out the back. Yeah. Oh, so good.
And I believe that was 3 for 3, wasn't it?
3 for 3. What a great way to start the comp for Nathan. Oh, nothing better than that.
No.
And umpire's moving now to Caleb Flanagan, CSI. So we're going to see Lee busy at the back because he's just filing athletes out. I hope he's got some help out there. Here comes Caleb. We'll see Lee getting all animated again.
Yep.
Yeah. I love watching Lee coach. It gets you excited. You know, I'm not even lifting weights. Here he comes. Caleb, first attempt.
Close. Lock it. White.
Right, he's good. So Leah, moving up to Hamilton. What's your role in Hamilton?
So I'm a physiotherapist as well. So I've kind of moved from the platform to helping people off the platform. Yeah, it's quite interesting to see all the variables that athletes have to take into consideration to maximize their training and stay healthy. That's a big part of it.
There's a big, big amount, is that the best way to say it, of physiotherapists coming from weightlifting backgrounds or weightlifters that have come from physiotherapist backgrounds?
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. In New Zealand, they've got 2 physio schools, and Otago is one of them. So Otago weightlifting gets a lot of physio students.
In the meantime, here is Ben. No mucking around for Ben, straight out as well. Showing his elbows.
Tight and holding strong and weighted.
He waits for the referees. Good lift. So you would have seen Ben just showing his elbows prior to lifting, and that lets the referees know that my elbows don't go straight. So they have to know that before you lift. Otherwise they're going to say, oh, his elbows didn't go straight, so they give you a red light. But if you let them know beforehand. they are prepared for that.
And I've noticed we've had a few younger lifters come out. So can you tell us about some of the differences between training youth athletes and masters athletes? Because we've seen all of them on the platform today.
We have. It's quite rare, right? I was saying the other day, this is a competition where you have people that are 13 coming up for their first comp and potentially an Olympian. So you've got, it's kind of like playing a game of rugby in the morning and an All Black comes on to have a game with you at half-time or something like that. So it's a pretty special sort of an environment, a weightlifting competition. But if you're talking about youth, we'll cover that after Kieran's next lift, because Kieran's waiting in the wings. Here he comes. Nice calm approach from Kieran.
Keep tight. Wait. Well done.
That looks good. Referees enjoy it. 3 white lights. More people fly out the back. Well, I had a good chat yesterday. Weightlifting, while we think of it as a strength sport with weights, it's really a movement sport. And the youth athletes really are in the stages of developing movement competency. So the early stages of training youth athletes, the majority of the focus is just on rhythm and position and structure.
Keep tight.
Caleb not even giving me time to announce who's coming out on the platform, back out the back as well. So bar's going to change, they'll tighten that up. So early stages of youth development, movement competency, balance, awareness, kind of knowing where your body is in space. Then your middle stages of training, once that's established, which is what you call your established senior athletes, you can load as long as the technical foundations are there. And then your masters athletes, it depends. If your masters athletes have come from weightlifting and they've carried on and now using weightlifting as a sport as a hobby or a lifestyle or fitness.
Keep working. Keep working. Well done, Ben.
That's beautiful from Ben. Referees say, good lift. These boys are rattling out. I can't keep up. So, yeah, it depends as a masters athlete. I see Simon over in saying it's a life sport. So if you've had that pre-training experience, really it's just about managing your loading, that you're not overloading your body. A lot of masters athletes have jobs, they have families. So what I call the balance of stress. It's when you're if I go back to myself being a full-time athlete training for the Olympics, I had no additional stress. So I didn't have a young family to worry about. I didn't have a job that I was trying to keep down. I reduced as much stress in my lifetime to load the additional stress into my training. But then I got a business, then I had a young family, and I had all of this other stress come in, so I had to deload the training to balance the additional stress externally.
Yeah, yep.
And I'd say a lot of our masters athletes that aren't retired individuals, they'll be in business or work or lifestyle, have families. So when I talk about loading masters athletes, it's making sure that we're aware of the additional stresses outside of the sport. It's a pretty deep answer, isn't it? Sorry about that.
That was good.
Here we have Kieran, second attempt 50. I've liked his approach.
Set it up. Tight catch. Holding, working.
It's a beautiful lift from this young man. Get a high five from the coach. He's looking good. Lisa, yes, they are all making it look very easy and very quickly. This comp is going like a rocket. Let's have a look at the scoreboard. Now, if you are supporting us on the skysportnext YouTube channel, make sure you hit subscribe and let us know where you're watching from and who you're supporting. And make sure you copy and paste this into your social media channels, because we want more people watching our sport around the country. Well, he's wasting no time. Fortunately, no lift. That was Caleb. I think Caleb might be venturing into new weights. Just his approach seemed a little rushed, and when all of a sudden you get a new number on the bar that you haven't lifted before, it can play a little bit more of a mind game with you.
Yeah, we were just talking about that out the back earlier, that and the colors of the plates on the bar as well.
So you were talking about that in the previous session?
Yep.
Okay, so that was when 70 kilos went on the bar, and there was about 3 consecutive lifts in a row. I was sitting here commentating on that, going, I think it's the shift of the plates. So many people think alike. And takes his time, stands it, referees say, what do we say, good luck? Good work, Ben.
So one thing that Lee's been saying is keep working towards the end of the lift. What are the things that we're looking at once the athlete's got the weight overhead to make sure that it's going to be a good lift and they don't get red lighted?
So that's exactly that. Once you get a bar above your head and you feel like you're in control, the lift doesn't finish until your feet are in line, you're standing, you've demonstrated control, and you get the down signal. The problem is that you usually know that you've got the lift prior to that. You're like, oh yeah, I'm good. And you hit the relax button just prior. And that's when things can, like, maybe the shoulders could relax, you lose control, you go soft. So Lee's saying work right till that down signal. You haven't got it until you put it down. And we've seen plenty of experienced lifters around the world miss a weight on the recovery. Even though they've got it, secured it, they've hit the relax button too early. Here's Kieran. Kieran's looked great.
Hit that second pole.
Big cues coming.
Tight. Work it, lady,
And this young man is very good. He's pumped. Massive relief. Good work, Kieran. Great lifting.
So another cue that we just heard from Lee was talking about the second pole. So what are the poles?
Oh, you're full of the technical questions.
Yeah.
I love it. So the first pull is deemed the pull from the ground across the knee. So usually the first pull is about patience and position, because it's just about holding position until you get to a point where, it's a pretty technical answer, the angles in the ankle, knee and hip are at a good angle to produce force, which is where the second pull engages, where you can produce velocity on the barbell. So finish your second pull is really being patient to that point and then just letting rip and fully opening those angles, which is called triple extension. Oh, what a technical kind of answer that is. Oh, Jack was successful with his first 65, I'm pretty certain. Referee say yes. I changed before you got to see it. He was close. You could see that he was close to putting that down before he got the down signal. Went to his tiptoes at the end. Thank you, everybody, for watching online. Yes, Lisa, everyone's making it look very easy. Watching from Christchurch, supporting Jack. Simon watching as well. Where are you watching from, Simon? It says that we've got quite a few people watching, so let us know where you are watching from and who you're supporting. They will come back and watch this live stream afterwards. Again, a massive thank you to skysportnext for giving this platform to share our sport in around the country. If you are watching from overseas, let us know what country you're watching in. I'm joined by Lee and the commentary team. We do have a 2-minute clock on. By the power of technology, I can just click a button and show us how you're going. There we are. I've got John beside me on the camera. Let's have a look. Oh, wrong way. There we go. Yeah, I got to go up a little bit, John. There you are. A big setup here. Massive thank you to Raise Lower. As I said, lots of people in. Let's have a look at the spectators. Spectators there as well. Yep, you're all on. Athlete waiting area. Let's spin it around and have a look at the athlete waiting area. There we go. We can have a sneak out there as well. So we're pretty lucky to be down at Nelson Weightlifting today. Go back to the main platform while we wait.
So we've only got one platform today, but last weekend at North Islands we had 2 platforms running.
Last weekend we had 160 lifters at the North Island Weightlifting Championships. I'd say this would be a record turnout for the South Island Weightlifting Champs. This has been much easier logistically to organise. Here we have Jack, second attempt, 70 kilos. Stay with it, they call us. I think he's good. What do the referees say? Yes. We're not in a big venue here, and I saw Lou just shimmy in her seat there as he came running forward.
Add some extra excitement.
Yes, refereeing weightlifting is a adrenaline-filled exercise, would be the best way to put it. How's the lifestyle change been from being a uni student down in Otago to being now a working professional in Hamilton?
Yeah, quite different. They've got the, I don't know if any listeners are familiar with the term Scarfy, but Scarfyville is the student area around Dunedin, and it is definitely a little bit quieter, a little bit more collected up in Hamilton. Yeah, but it's exciting, all the opportunities that are up on the North Island.
And like all Scarfies, probably living on the what we call the breadline. Yeah. What was your first paycheck spent on when you became a working professional?
Gosh, that's a good question. I think it was taking the grocery shop from being your general pastas and breads to something a little bit more flash.
Yeah, I've been asking that question a lot lately, and it's always a full supermarket shop.
Yeah, stocked fridge.
Yeah. Having actual breakfast.
Yeah. I think the second thing might have been a nice suit.
A nice lifting suit?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you got your priorities right.
Yeah.
I like it. So we're just waiting now. There's a 2-minute call on Jack. Like the look of the scoreboard.
Lots of green.
Lots of green. What's even better is that these loaders are moving like absolute rockets and getting this. I'll just center it for everybody a little bit better.
We say that the loaders must be lifting the most amount of weight over the weekend.
They are. So they're doing a great job. The faster this loader gets these bars set, the clock begins. And over the course of a competition where we might have 60 odd lifts, and if you can reduce this by 30 seconds each time because they're efficient, it brings the comp time down significantly. So bar is loaded. Or our next athlete call is still on Jack.
And it isn't just throwing the weights on the bar, because there's certain rules about where the small plates go.
That's correct. So the general rule is just that you have to have as little weights on the bar as possible. So as we move up, you'll see them changing the 10s to the 15s to 20s. Now we're at the 25s. So we've got a 20 kilo bar, 2 25 kilo discs, which makes 70, and then the collars, which are 2.5 each. So we're at 75, and that's the call. Here's Jack. He's getting ready. This is his third attempt. He's looked good. He's just always left it slightly forward, so let's hopefully he can correct this for his last. and unfortunately just a little bit forward. Managed to save the first two, but not that time.
Yeah.
Loaders will add some more weight. Bar moves to 92 for a first attempt for Matthew. So yeah, there's a couple of rules. The collars go on, and on the inside of the collar, you'll see the 2.5s and the 5s can go on. That's what they're doing right now. But on the outside of the collar, we have the small change plates. And they go on the outside, and they are what we call tightly fitted, so that they can be quickly exchanged if there are small jumps. And that, again, is a time-saving kind of element of loading the bar. They are designed to stay in place on the outside of the collar. So some of them are magnetic, and others just have a tighter fit so they don't slide around. Here we have Matthew. Trying to keep up with him with the camera. Really tidy first lift for Matthew. Referees say we like it. Coaching team 2, Curran Power. Curran successful yesterday in winning the South Island Championship. That was a battle and a half. That was exciting to commentate. Actually, I was trying to make all the calls on the scoreboard of what they should be moving to.
Yeah, that would have been fun.
Yeah, and they made every call exactly right. So good to see that the knowledge of competition coaching is on point. Have you placed yourself in a tight competition before yet?
Have I placed myself?
Or like, have you been at the board for someone where you've got to make those decisions?
Well, we were talking about earlier today and even yesterday as well. They just had a bunch of people all lined up in the middle, all making similar changes. So trying to time warm-ups was quite interesting as well, because in one case there might be one person going, other times there might be 5 people going in between. So it's stressful.
Very stressful. In fact, I feel like it's more stressful as a coach to get the athlete's timing right than the athlete themselves. Like, you're going, okay, I just have to lift the bar. The stressful moment comes when you walk out for your first lift. But the coach is like, I can't mess up the timing.
Yeah.
So for those that are wondering what we're talking about, you usually warm up to just below or to your opening attempt. So these men right now are opening their lifts. They will warm up to that out the back. But you want to get that warm-up timing about 2 minutes before they're called to the platform. Now, if you get the warm-up too slow, you could make them lift in the back, and then they're called straight to the platform, so they get no recovery time. If you warm up too fast, they could be sitting around for 5 or 6 minutes and cool down. So you've got to you're constantly measuring when they should be doing each warm-up lift to get them to the platform at the right time.
One of those fun differences between training and competition.
Yeah, it's difficult because at training you kind of get a routine going, and then you're sitting there in comp and your coach slows you down. You're like, I want to go. And you're like, no, sit down.
Yes, sit is a common command.
Sit, yeah. They get excited. So I'll tell you an interesting story. There's a few people moving weights while we're here. So I was coaching my wife. Difficult anyway.
Yeah, fun challenge there.
Fun challenge. Tell her to sit down. I turn around and she's taking the lift, and I'm like, I told you to sit down. So then it's a fine balance between being a coach and a husband, having a good argument at the back. I think I threw my coaching papers in the air and walked off. Here's Matt. Next attempt, 98 kilos. Looked good in his first. Oh, good work, Matthew. Solid. He knows. He just walks off. Fist pump. Yeah. The other one as well is obviously making sure your athletes let you know if they want to have a toilet break in their warm-up.
Oh, yes.
Oh, gosh. I learned that one the hard way as well. When you're going, okay, you take this next lift, and your athlete goes, I just need to rush off to the toilet. Toilet usually takes a couple of minutes. Hoping there's no queue.
Yep.
Hoping that it's in close proximity. And then all of a sudden you've now got 2 minutes less which was actually a lift in your warm-up that you're hoping to take. So then you have to rush a couple.
Yeah.
It is one of the most stressful things to get that athlete out onto that platform at the right time. Then we talk about making changes. So you were saying yesterday you're at the board, people are jostling. You have to then choose the right weight, but then let your athlete know, okay, you're going to be up next, or you're going to be up in 5 lifts. Or if you take a big jump, you've got 10 lifts between you and then. Do we do another warm-up lift in between those?
Yep. Or just a bunch of quick air squats.
Quick air squats, yeah. Quick air squats is the saver, right?
Yeah.
Here we have a first attempt for Henry. So this is the first time we've seen Henry. Got a beautiful virus suit on that camo look. Like it. Oh, that's a good start. Beautiful lift.
Yeah.
No mucking around. Hands on the bar. It's a real confidence booster when you come out and get your first lift like that.
Yeah.
So go back to the scoreboard for everybody.
Still lots of green.
Lots of green. Look at that for a scoreboard. We have to bring up the scoreboard a bit bigger for us so we're not squinting. Here we go.
Still a few people waiting to come out.
Yep. Some support coming in for our next athlete, Harry. First attempt 100. This is a good opening attempt.
Full movement.
Good opening attempt. Referees say good lift. Lee's calming him down. Straight off. Calm down, calm down. Bar gets changed. Moves to 101 for the same athlete. Automatic increment. Again, everyone's just moving so quickly through this comp. Doesn't give us much time to check the scoreboard. So Harry moved. Oh, he's jumped to 105. PR. I was just wondering where Henry was, and that's PR Shed. PRS is PR Shed. That's a Blenheim-based weightlifting club. Good to see them competing. Drive across the hill.
Yep.
He's Braden. Unfortunately, no lift there for his first. Heaps of power. You might have heard in the background the unfortunate timing of a baby crying.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be hard to focus.
Yeah, I think that's another fun difference between training and competitions. Training usually have the music blasting.
Yeah, it's just
Competition.
you're not distracted because there is noise.
Yeah.
But comp platform goes dead silent, and that's when a cell phone, or in that instance a baby crying, just becomes so clear. So you'll see these weight change going on. Shift through to 105 kilos, sees the 15 kilo disc thrown onto the barbell. Center it, put it in the middle please, that's what they're saying. So what does the rest of the year look like for you? We are halfway through the year. It's gone a bit crazy this year.
Yeah. Well, I think we've got a few more athletes that we're looking after with the club, so just continuing on with training, hopefully getting a few trips now that we don't have to worry about lockdown so much, which is nice here in New Zealand.
Okay, here we have Henry PR Shed again. He looked really solid in his first attempt. Oh, that's slightly forward. He chases it. Oh, let's have a look. Oh, no lift, unfortunately. We got a close-up view right there. Chased it.
And it's always interesting viewing the lift from one angle as compared to what the refs are seeing, because we've got the center ref and 2 side refs, and they're all sitting slightly different from where the other ones are.
So to me that looked good, but then I didn't have that front view. The referees had a very close front view.
Yes.
And he has Harry. Harry was successful with his first. It actually made it look really comfortable. I don't think the weight will be an issue for him. That was better than the first. 3 white light success. Yeah, these young men coming out of CSI are doing fantastic lifting. So here comes Braden. We'll follow him out. Braden got the previous lift overhead, lost it behind. Let's see what correction he can make. Referees make him hold it for an extended amount of time. 3 white lights. Well, he had to work.
Yes, he did.
They're being held to a very high standard, that's for sure.
What's the process of becoming a ref in weightlifting?
So, first one is you've got to be a member of your national federation, which is a member of New Zealand Weightlifting. We'll just watch Matthew. 105. Not quite, Matthew, unfortunately. Now, then we organise referees exams around the country, so we have a number of senior referees that do referees examinations. It's not too difficult, because you get given the referee's exam booklet and the referee's answers. That's where rope learning answers comes into handy, but as you rope learn, you'll probably actually learn a lot about the sport and the refereeing rules. So as long as you, I think it gets 75% in that exam, you can then become at the first level of refereeing. Oh, what a fight. I think he's good. I'd give it to him. Come on, referees. Yes.
That was good effort on that one.
Yeah, I think we all rode that stand up. Usually not the hardest part of the lift is standing it up, but he worked real hard for that. So yeah, if you are interested in becoming a referee, we just got to line you up with the referee's examination. After you've passed your referee's examination, you are able to referee at club level. So you'll have a number of club lifts that you'll have to adjudicate. Here's Braden. Successful second. He's out here pretty quick for his third. Oh, that's better. Just needed some weight on the bit. Referees, white lights, good work, Braden. So, yeah, as I said, you have to do a few club competitions and then you can get moved up to championship level. And then, I don't know how many exact lifts you need to adjudicate, but then you can request to be moved through to an IWF category referee. So that lets you referee at kind of championship level like Oceanias, things like that. And then you move to category 1 after many years. And you can be a ref at the Olympic Games World Championships. And we do have a couple of category 1 referees in New Zealand. Here is Harry, 110. He's looked good. Oh, so close, Harry. Unfortunately, no lift. It's there for next time. Just keep adding weight to this bar. I'm going to give everyone the opportunity to look at the scoreboard for a little bit. So we are getting to our final 3 athletes. Making good time.
Oh, that's a familiar name that's coming up soon.
Callum Helms, 112 on the bar. He's ready to go, so we'll go back to him. That's okay. Referee say okay. Coach Soe gives him the nod. A little bit of a twist there. He did well to bring that back.
Yeah, he's always had a bit of a twist.
Individual variances in your body. Some
Yep.
of us have a bit of a dominance on one side of our body. In fact, a lot of people do have a dominant side. We're waiting. The call is still on Cullum, so he gets the automatic increment. No doubt. It's hard being a coach, being coached.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was just having a look out the back, and he's got some of his own athletes who are helping him now, so there's a bit of a role reversal there.
Yeah, there is. And how much of a dominant coach role does Cullum say, I want this and I want to control it, versus actually passing that responsibility off to one of his athletes?
Yeah, I think at this point he kind of knows himself quite well, but it would be fun to kind of hear what's going on back there.
I remember when I was at the Commonwealth Games and Olympics in my final years, I was very controlling of my comps. I'd be sitting down and then I'd get up and wander over to the scoreboard to check the scoreboard, look where everyone is, and people are like, Richie, go sit down. I'm like, no, I just need to see where everything is, please. Yeah, make changes. Between lifts, I'm at the scoreboard making my own changes. So again, a massive thank you to our loaders. They've done a fantastic job keeping this comp moving through. We might see the comp slow down a little bit. I think we might have 3 athletes just consecutively following themselves. We do. So we're probably going to see Cullum do 3 consecutives potentially, and then Aidan, and then Douglas. So this does slow the competition down. We've gone like rockets, and then now we're going to go to snail's pace for a little while. Again, if you've got any questions at home, throw them in the chat. Gives us something to talk about. You had some questions put forward to you earlier. Have you got them?
Yeah.
Let's answer a couple.
So I've got one that says, how come gymnasts make good lifters? We heard people talking about it in the last session. A male lifter is going to the Olympics who started out in gymnastics and transitioned to weightlifting.
I'll put the camera on us for a second so you can see us having a chat. There you go. I think we have to go that way. Why do gymnasts make good weightlifters? I think it's those early stages of body awareness, where you are. We'll come back to that. We've just got Cullum going on to the bar. Better than his first. 3 white light success. So, as I mentioned, those early we talked about it earlier about youth programming. So the first stages of learning weightlifting is learning the rhythm and the position of the movement, and if you have a gymnastics background, you have really good body awareness of positions, how to hold shapes. Generally your mobility is really high level as well. So a good example is my wife Pip came from gymnastics, and she's like, a lot of gymnasts say, I feel like I should have done this sport earlier, but all of that pre-training with gymnastics gives them a very fast, rapid transition to the sport in weightlifting because they've done that pre-work of mobility, core strength, structure, all of those other things. So they find that they pick up, it's pretty ironically, that they pick up weightlifting very quickly. And when you become successful at something in a short time frame, it really builds momentum. Like, oh, I'm good at this, I want to do it again. So you turn up and you do it again and you're driven. For those that come from a background that isn't movement oriented like dance or gymnastics, it's a very slow process to learn weightlifting, and you don't get that initial reward factor so quickly, and that's when you can often go, unless you're stubborn and determined and patient, you might not be willing to give those years to get the foundation right.
At least in Otago, we've seen a big increase in the amount of youth that are involved in the sport. Is that something that you've seen as well? Up in the North Island, is weightlifting growing in New Zealand as a whole?
Yeah, so when we talk about youth, I think there was a preconceived idea that weight training was bad for youth, which was really disproved a long time ago. Especially loaded power training, we have the knowledge of strength and conditioning coaching, especially Olympic lifting coaching in New Zealand, has advanced tremendously. So we have good coaches now understanding that the early stages aren't about loading, they're about technical proficiency. So because that coaching foundation is there now, athletes are feeling more supported in their early years. And then when your friend comes to school and says, I'm doing weightlifting and I'm really enjoying it, they go, all of a sudden you got 2 or 3 or 4. Here's Aiden. Oh, never good when the referees give you an early down signal, and that was that right elbow. This is his first attempt, so he's going to have to correct that. It's a big opening weight. As he's demonstrated he can get it above his head. So that's why I believe there's an increased participation on a lower level, because they're having better experiences in the sport. You have an event like this, you have a real positive outcome from it. Your school will recognise you. You walk across stage as South Island Junior Champion. Your friends in the audience like, oh, I want that recognition. Yeah. So it's just so many different facets. Us being on Skysportnext, you're watching at home going, I could do this. Yeah. So many different elements. Here's Aiden. He's not wasting any time.
No.
He's got 2 minutes, but it's only been 20 odd seconds. Whoa! Sorry, I got excited.
Same.
Everybody else ran out of the race.
Shuffling in their chairs, yeah.
Ooh. He gave everybody a heart attack on that one. Unfortunately, no lift. Ran out of platform. Woo. Sounds like someone's maxing out at the back.
It does, yeah. We heard some cheering.
Yeah. Is that after they've lifted, or is that someone warming up?
Hopefully they bring that to the platform.
Here is Cullum. The competition arena's lit up. 120, third. Well, lots of power. Unfortunately, no lift.
I think I have to control my reactions, because when I see him lifting, I'm going, ooh, ooh, it's hard to hold back.
And then you've got a microphone in front of you. You've got to be careful how much you critique your coach's lifting.
Not biased at all.
Yeah. But we're waiting now for Aiden. Now this is a big lift for this young man. He needs it to stay and register a total in the snatch. Certainly had lots of power. Unfortunately not today. He'll be a little bit disappointed with that. As I said, that's a big opening attempt. He certainly committed coming in at a large weight. So that brings our final athlete to the platform. Douglas Coney Fraser.
And what goes into determining the starting weight that an athlete's going to put on the bar?
It's a good question. Usually you'd start with something that it's what we call a confident heavy, something that you can do in training every week. The likelihood of a miss is low, but it's not too far below your personal best that you want to end towards. So it's a number of things of where you want to finish up is where you kind of how you set your start. So here is Doug. Uh, 132. It's a good start. 3 white light success. So we'll see the comp slow down a little bit again.
And Doug is sort of well known for his approach to the barbell because it's always very consistent. Is that something you like to do with your athletes as well? Thinking the same things, doing the same things as they approach the bar, or just allow a little bit of flexibility?
I like consistency in approach, so we practice that. So when we're in kind of our heavy training phase, or what we call our classical training phase, I like to see athletes have a consistent approach because the success of a lift really doesn't even happen when you're on the bar. I reckon it's about how you go through your approach, your keywords, keeping in the, it's called a inverted U hypothesis. Have you heard of that one before?
I think, yeah.
Optimal state for lifting, or optimal state of arousal for peak performance. So we practice that. And then once you find it, once you find what you respond to, that's what you try and keep consistent. So Doug has a consistent approach. It's unique to Doug, I have to say that much. But you can certainly tell an athlete when psychologically the weight is beyond them because they change their approach. You might see a double walk back and forth. You might see them yell a new word. It might be rushed. And straight away you're like, okay, this athlete is mentally struggling to deal with what's on the bar. And that will probably then transfer to the movement. So I'm getting told off for saying Cullum, it's Callan.
Callan.
I'm horrible with names, I apologise with that. Thank you, Sarah, appreciate it. I got told it's Matt's birthday today.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Matt. We are just waiting for Douglas. A couple of changes coming through. As I said, he's slowing the comp down a little bit.
What are other ways to slow down the competition?
Multiple changes. So he's making a couple of multiple changes. Oh, clock is still running. 38. Doug is ready. He had the platform swept.
A classic.
Classic. Here's Doug, 138 kilos. So now you can see his consistent approach. Same every time. I think that's good. Referees, what do the referees say? 3 white light success, and Doug has 1 final attempt, so let's go back to that scoreboard. It's a good scoreboard. So we have 1 final lift, he'll take 2 minutes. As we said, what does slowing down the comp look like? Gifts. Gifts for the loaders usually goes quite well. If you want the loaders to go slowly, you make good friends with the loaders. Hey guys, just remember, bought your lunch yesterday. Don't be in a rush to load my barbell.
And so say in a situation like now where Doug's the last lifter, he's following himself, what's going to determine his last weight on the bar here?
Well, now he's 2 from 2, so I would probably assume that he wants to have a go at a personal best, or there might be, say, a total that he's searching for. So a number of our senior athletes are looking for international or elite totals. So he's figuring out how he's going to build that total. Or if you're humming, you might just go put whatever on the bar and let me have a crack at it.
Those are quite exciting to watch.
Yeah. And they've got a sponsor logo lined up, so thank you to Fitzgerald Construction, Plan Well Built Better. We do know they are a family that are connected to Nelson Olympic Weightlifting, so we thank them for the support of this event. A couple of changes still coming through. So we are waiting for Douglas Saccone Fraser, 41. I think this will be what he'll take. I'm under the impression that this will be an all-time personal best for Doug.
And he's been around for a while, lifting.
He has been around for a while. That's a polite way of saying you're old, is it? Or he's still doing well. Like, this is a lifetime personal best attempt after being around for a while. So let's follow him out. Let's watch this routine.
Hearing some slaps from behind the screen.
I really want to see this go above his head. We'll see a fantastic celebration, I'm sure. Lining it up. Look at that look. Oh, he's got it.
He will be happy.
He's just going to absorb it for a second. Good man. Good man. Oh, he'll be happy with that.
What a way to finish.
Coaches are happy with that. Good work, Doug. Well, what a great first half of this competition. Let everybody at home just see the scoreboard for a second. Thanks, Lee, for joining me this morning.
Thank you.
I will have another guest for the clean and jerks. Best of luck for your own training and preparations, and we'll probably see you at Nationals, no doubt.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Good. Thank you so much, and it's been great promoting these questions. It's been a really good first session.
Thank you.
We will be back in 10 minutes for the start of the clean and jerks and the final session, session 5 of the South Island Weightlifting Championships. Well, welcome back to the clean and jerks of session 5 of the men's 96, 102, 109 and 109 plus of the South Island Weightlifting Championships. That's a mouthful. I am joined by Chanel Benon.
Yep, Pinot.
I got it well.
Yeah.
Good work.
Good job.
Thank you. You lifted earlier today. We'll just watch Nathan. He's off like a rocket.
He is.
Here we go.
Waits for the feet to get in line. Referees say he's happy. Waits for the referee signal. Good lift. He's having a great day, Nathan.
He is.
Makes you excited to watch weightlifting.
Oh, so and the energy is just absolutely phenomenal.
So I was lucky enough to commentate on your session earlier. You lifted fantastically. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I was commenting on how composed your approach to the barbell is.
Yeah, it's mainly so I don't get distracted by the number on the bar.
Okay,
Yeah.
so walk me through how you approach the bar. How do you not talk about what is on the bar?
Usually I'm involved in the conversation with my coach Declan what my starting weights are, but after that I'd rather not know.
Yeah.
He'll just ask me how I'm feeling.
Okay.
And then when I'm starting getting ready, I've got this wee ritual: take my jersey off, chalk your hands, rub them together, get a bit on the thumb,
Yeah.
look at the bar.
Sounds like you're quite particular about
Yeah.
your chalking.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's a wee routine. And then I've got a spot on the wall
Yep.
that I look at.
Focal point.
Yeah.
Good.
And then I said to my teammates before, literally all I remember is you touch the bar and you think of your starting position and lift, and then everything else just kind of happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Magic happens.
Yeah.
Okay. And so this is my first time meeting you. Thank you for taking
that's all good.
my offer of, hey, come sit with me for the live stream. You called the competition earlier, and I got told that you're very good on the microphone. So
Yeah, I did my first announcing yesterday. That was a lot of fun.
Very good.
Hips down. Lock in. Bump. Yes, lift it. Behind the head. Keep it. Keep working.
Nathan gets his feet back in line for round number 2. Oh, this guy's having a day of it. He's enjoying himself. That's so good. Well done, Nathan. Well done, Lee. Looks like you've got a great little partnership going on there. So you're with the Otago weightlifting crew.
Yes, I am.
Yep. Tell me your background. What do you do? You're studying, working?
I have been working at Sport Otago, the Regional Sports Trust, for the last 6.5 years, but I'm actually starting police college in 3 weeks.
Very good. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Has that been an aspiration for a while?
Yes, my dad was a detective back in South Africa, so I've always been around that environment, but hey, it's time for me to do something different, and I thought it was the right time to do it.
Well, that's exciting. I'm just looking. We're getting a good shot of Nathan out the back. It's pretty heartwarming, this stuff. And here comes Nathan. This is for 3 out of 3 in the clean and jerk. Let's go, Nathan. The whole facility's behind you.
There we go. Well done, Nathan.
Oh, early down signal. I think the referees aren't going to like that one, but he can still walk off. He should be very
He's
proud
still
of that.
happy.
Yeah, well done. That is so good. Yeah, good boy. So more weight going on the bar. We'll see 55 kilograms be loaded. So background in sport prior to weightlifting?
Played netball throughout high school, primary school, and then someone exposed me to CrossFit in 2015. Didn't want to do the classes with the weights in them, funny enough. It was that whole thing about if you do weights, you would get bulky. That whole thing was going around back then.
When was that? 2015? I thought we'd moved past that phase in 2015.
Not in Dunedin, not apparently.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, Caleb's. God, no wasting time. Hands on the bar. Let's go.
Good. Lift it. Lock. Keep it.
Referees say, Lee says, here we go. Referees, we're waiting. Well, majority decision, good lift.
Nice. Yeah, so it was just CrossFit, and then I met Declan from Otago Weightlifting
Yep.
at my CrossFit gym, and he's like, oh, have you ever thought about doing this as a sport? And I was like, no, I haven't. So I've been with him for the last 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was coaching Declan when he lived up in Auckland.
Ooh.
Good man, Declan. Contributing a lot to the sport. You see Ben showing his elbows again. That means they don't go straight. So the referees are prepared when he goes over his head. So that's a couple of the rules of weightlifting.
It's been very interesting seeing quite a lot of the lifters doing not a split jerk this weekend, and it's more of that push jerk.
I think it's because there is a lot of international athletes that are being followed on social media that are doing power jerks, squat jerks. So it's trendy.
Yeah.
I don't find it the easiest movement
No.
myself. You've got to be strong. You've got to get a lot of height, and you've got to be very accurate. So they are certainly adopting a practice that is challenging for them. The barbell is being loaded to 60 kilograms. So you originally hail from the Otago region?
No, I was born in South Africa and then lived there until I was 13.
Okay.
And then went to Timaru in Canterbury, finished high school there, and then went to Otago to study and stayed there since.
Okay, you certainly have lost your South African accent.
Yeah, no, I
haven't
have.
you? Yeah. Here's Kieran.
Strong. Tight grip. Keep it. Yeah. Beauty, Kieran.
Yep, no mucking around. I'm trying to keep up with these chaps running out into the platform.
They're just so keen.
So bar is being reset to 60. And we have Caleb. There is literally, I feel like they're queuing up fully up the back.
He's a busy man this weekend.
Come on. Big dip. Keep it. Keep working.
Or early down signal. Usually means the refs don't like it. And no, they don't. Unfortunately, those elbows. So, Police College, that'll take you where in the world? You go up to Wellington for that?
Yep. So you go to Wellington and you're there for 4 months.
Yep.
So I'd finish at the end of November, which is pretty exciting. It's good because then I finish just before Christmas.
Yeah. Did you get a break or you straight in?
I think you get a week break or something like that.
A week.
Yeah.
Strong.
Ben, he's got a now through his legs. Oh, he just leaves it forward. Lots of effort. He's a tall man. There's a
He
long way
is.
up.
He was definitely fighting for it. I like to see that.
And then once you're in the police,
Yep.
you are told where you'll be stationed?
Yeah, so how it works is when you do your application, they ask you what district you want to be based in. So I see Southern District, and then they ask you what town or city.
Strong. Big tummy. Bar high. That's you. Oh.
Good
Just
job.
summing out so quick, I feel like I am at a CrossFit competition. 10 seconds left, 10 seconds left. These going like rockets.
It's making the session go fast.
So I was watching a police little documentary the other day. I know, apologies to everyone back at home, we're talking about the police. But I was talking about, they were, showed through the West Coast, the rural community police stations, and how the community policing is very different, very community orientated, that trust factor to go, hey, look, open door policy, come in, make yourself really available to the community.
Oh. Right. Nice. Here we go. Take your time.
Unfortunately, for Ben, just forward. Ben we'll just finish off this police talk and we'll get back to
Yeah.
weightlifting. But like I'm a rural kid myself, grew up on a farm. You know, that community aspect of New Zealand is really important, and I guess the roles that the community policing play in that is really important as well. So is that something you're looking at with being down south?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, with the work I have been doing in the sports sector and health sector, it's part of the biggest thing is community-led approach to any approach you take, and it's something that the police have started doing in the last few years with their prevention first strategies, where it's about working with your community instead of working against or working and pulling the rope the same direction, for example. So I'm very excited to get into a different sector and get to work with my wider community.
It's fantastic to hear. Here's Kieran. Like the other young men, no wasting any time.
Strong. Set. Keep it. Good.
3 white lights, success.
It's very powerful.
Really powerful. Well, good luck with the policing. It's good to know our athletes have this well-rounded approach, and we've got people that are in all walks of life participating over this weekend, from 13-year-olds and 12-year-olds right through to masters athletes and working professionals and
students. Otago weightlifting has a lot of students.
yeah, Otago weightlifting. I mean, when I started weightlifting, there was 1 or 2 lifters, and now you guys are, if not the most dominant club in the country. I do know you won a number of national team titles last year at Nationals. Certainly setting the standard for us to follow around the country, which is fantastic. Same from this weekend. We've had so much support from the South Island clubs to help run a championship event like this.
Oh, it's been phenomenal.
It's been a success, I think.
It's been really, really good.
So we'll follow Kieran out again. He's getting lots of coaching cues everywhere.
Sit back.
Sounds like mum in the stand.
Come on. Right, sit. Stronger. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that looks good. Referees say down. And good lift, majority decision. So, Chanel, with your aspirations, obviously you're at the championship event. Is this your first championship event?
I did the postal last year.
Yep.
Yep, so that was a bit different.
Yep.
And then Nationals last year was my first competition in front of a big crowd.
Oh, you were at Nationals
Yeah,
last
so it was
year.
at National.
That was a big event.
Yeah, it was very big. Yeah,
Bright lights, big stages.
very bright. I remembered I said to my coach, I can't even see the audience in the stands.
Yeah, now you got to get used to that.
Yeah.
That's part of lifting on the big stage, unfortunately, is that all the lights are on you.
Yeah.
Here comes Jack. Jack looked really powerful in the snatches, so it'll be good to see him transfer that strength into the clean and jerk. That's a really good start. Super tidy. 3 white lights.
It's quite cool. I always enjoy seeing when the athletes finish their lift and they've got this big grin on their face and they know, yeah, that was good.
It makes refereeing that much easier when they put it above their head and they smile.
Yeah.
It's almost like, yes, you can press the white lights for me. At the same time, I was commenting earlier that a smile and a yes, even when you've pressed it, can sway the judges. You don't want to let them know that you've missed a lift. So, aspirations to get back to Nationals this year?
Yeah, so I think with today's total that I got, my coach said I qualified for C grade again.
Yep.
which is really cool. It's just a matter of seeing how would that work training-wise when I'm at college.
So you said you're in college. Yeah, you might be in the middle. You might have to ask them.
Yeah.
Get them to send me an email. No.
Put in a good word for me.
Yep. I have a feeling I've achieved that before, getting someone out of police college to lift in a weightlifting comp.
Yeah, I'll definitely be having a talk with them because we just
They do support. I do know that they support that. Yeah.
Yeah, because they've got a few police officers that I know that there's one officer who's made the Olympics for the BMX team. I think it is. Wasn't it? I saw a post of that on their Instagram last week. I'll have to double check that.
There's one of the officers is in the hockey team.
Yeah.
One of the Northland officers. She's in the New Zealand women's hockey team. So again, it's great to see the services supporting athletic endeavours. Yeah, athletic endeavours.
I'll definitely be seeing what I can do.
I do know there's a couple of weightlifters. I think there's a few going for the police, so you might find yourself surrounded by weightlifters in police college.
Just start our own wee training sessions.
There's a couple more that are going through final stages of becoming in the fire service as well. Obviously, being physical individuals, strong and capable. So again, if you are just joining us, I am joined by Chanel, lifted earlier today, lifted fantastically. We will do a shout out to Skysportnext. Thank you so much for letting us use your platform to share our sport. If you are on live right now, and there are a number of you, let us know where you are watching from around the country, who you're supporting, because they will come back and watch this live stream. Lifters, if you are watching yourself on the live stream, please make sure you let Sky Sport Next that you're sharing their videos, tag them in everything. Here we have Jack. He looked great in his first lift. He's working hard. Referees make him hold it forever. Good. Majority decision. The buttons are working properly. I just don't think the referees are pressing them fast enough. As an athlete, you're going, oh gosh, this is hard. So, you've said you were at Nationals last year, you did the postal, so how long have you been, would you call yourself a weightlifter now, or are you still a CrossFitter?
No, I'm definitely more a weightlifter.
You're more a weightlifter?
Yeah, I stopped CrossFitting this year in February, and then I've recently...
How does it feel?
Oh,
when someone asks, what do you do you say, I'm a weightlifter? Do you feel you own that title?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm definitely more of a weightlifter, and everyone that knows me I know we all say this, but if they say, oh, let's go for a run or do cardio, they're like, nah, Chanel doesn't do that. She's a weightlifter now.
Yeah.
I'm like, we still do some of that.
Yep. I've been a weightlifter for a very long time. I've retired now, but it's quite common practice that if anybody runs anywhere and they know I'm with them, that I'm not running.
Yeah.
My wife tells my son when he runs off down the road and he says, come on, Dad. My wife yells out, Richie does not run. After retiring from weightlifting after the 2018 Commonwealth Games, I bought a mountain bike.
Oh, yeah?
And I'd say I'm not too bad on the mountain biking run, but one of my first experiences was down in Rotorua with an Olympic whitewater slalom kayaker, and his fitness was astonishing. And he didn't understand not being fit.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, we're just going to go up to the top of this run. And I think I stopped maybe 5 times on the way up. By the time I'd got to the top, I was absolutely spent. And then I had to do the downhill run. Did the downhill run. He's like, okay, ready, we'll go again. I'm like, mate.
I'm done.
I I said I won't be able to get up top. No way. I was so exhausted. Here we have Jack. Just waiting. Is it Jack? He's hiding around the corner.
Yeah.
Fist pump. Here we go. He's looked great. I thought he was going to look great. His snatches were really powerful. He just left them slightly forward. So often the athletes that display that sort of power do really well in the clean and jerk. Okay, so we're going to see now the bar make a significant jump up to 120 kilograms for Matthew. He's waiting in the wings. These loaders have done a fantastic job today to keep this session moving very quickly. So this is our final session, session 5 of the South Island Weightlifting Championships. Men's 96, 102, 109 and 109 plus. We are very lucky to be bringing this to you around the country. 2 championship events week after week. We had the North Island Weightlifting Championships last week, 2 platforms, 160 athletes. I believe we had 70 athletes here this weekend, which is a good turnout, and it's been well delivered, this event. No wasting time for Matthew. Looks good to me. He's happy with it. 3 white lights.
What was it like at North Islands with the 2 platforms? Was that your first year doing that?
Well, there's been one comp a long time ago where we ran 2 small platforms for a secondary school event, and it wasn't at championship level. It was just very quickly low scale. But that was 2 full championship setups last week, and that needed double the amount of computers, double the amount of referees, double the amount of everything. And I have to commend Gabby, who's helped with this weekend as well, because that was a logistical challenge.
Strong, big front foot, high. Come on, come on, come on.
And good lift. I did zoom in onto the side shot because he was coming closer to the camera, and he's so tall that we lost screen time. What a good lift. Yeah, that was a big weekend last weekend in fielding. And the other logistical challenge of that is that we do have a new trailer. I'll show it to you. It will mute me for a second. So we have been lucky enough to be granted some funding to purchase our own gear trailer, and that will become a championship event trailer. So that'll have platform and TVs and sound systems and everything that we need to do to run a championship event. Now, we chose from functional strength, which is in Auckland, to take the event to fielding. So that meant the whole event had to be transported to fielding.
Oh, wow.
And then we were predicting around 70 to 80 entries, and then that entry number blew out to 160. So that means everything had to be doubled. So we ended up taking a horse float as well of all of that equipment. It was a massive setup and breakdown, and then to drive it all the way back as well. So again, congratulations to Functional last weekend for pulling that off. Here's Matthew, second attempt, 124. looks good. Good work, Matthew. So the good thing about all of this is that we are getting to hold these physical competitions. I think athletes thrive when they're placed in front of people. You know, as human species, we thrive on community and support. So we're very lucky in New Zealand to be in the position that we are in. I do appreciate that this could change on a dime at any point with what's going on globally. But we take these opportunities to make these events and let our athletes realise their potential on the competition platform. It's happening out the back, getting through these lifts reasonably well. Here we have Henry. Let's follow him out to the platform. From PR Shed in Blenheim. Made hard work of the clean. Saves it well. Majority decision, good lift. So you're back on the plane this evening?
No, we're going back. Most of us are going back tomorrow. I'm scattered across the whole day, so we're going to go to the good old Lone Star for dinner.
Oh, good old Lone Star.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thought we'd treat ourselves, have a big family dinner.
What are you going for, the ribs?
Oh, I do like the ribs.
Yeah.
It depends, obviously, what colour shirt I'm wearing. If it's white, don't want that
True.
sauce on my shirt.
I've never made a decision based on my clothing for food, but this is a logical explanation. I always go in there going, I'll get the chicken, I'll get a steak or something, and then the ribs just pop up in front of you, don't they, every time.
Tight, good. Set. Lift everything. Keep working, Harry.
Let's sketch a little what we call a bar slam.
Oh, yeah.
3 white lights, he's pumped. So good.
Instead of a mic drop, it's a bar drop.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't just dropping. He slammed that into the ground. We're lucky that the platform's pretty solid here. Let's go back. We're giving a bit of free advertising to Lone Star, but what do you got? The Dixie chicken?
Yes.
Yeah, that's another
That's usually
go-to.
a good go-to, that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
I just always think it's so cool of them. Their chips are just big chunks of potato.
Yeah. You can tell we've had a long day when all we want to talk about is what we're going to eat. Yeah. Weightlifters, eh? Finish weightlifting, talk about food. So here's our scoreboard for everybody at home. We've got another number of lifters still coming in. Again, if you are watching, make sure you shout out for your athletes. They do love to see the support come through the live stream and the chat. Subscribe to Next because we will be going live again. The secondary school championships, the national championships, and the national masters championships will be brought to you on Next through our channel with the support of our partners. Here comes Matthew for his third. I've been really impressed by this man and his clean and jerks. Not to be. Well done, Matthew, though. Double fist pump. Coach Karen. Cameron McTaggart, our Olympian, has popped into the live stream. This chat is making me hungry, he says. Cameron, you're making your way down to the 81 kilo division for the Olympics, so you're going to have to use some self-discipline. Sorry, son. Cameron last week snatching a all-time personal best, 142, clean jerk 175. We will see Cameron at the Olympic Games in the 81 kilo division. Looking forward to that. I'll be at the back coaching, which is good. Here we have Harry, third attempt. unfortunately not today. Loaders do a good job making sure that bar doesn't take off.
It always reminds me of those Formula One, changing the tyres on the wheels.
I was
So fast.
talking about it yesterday. You might have not seen it, but when it comes to the Olympic Games, it's quite a esteemed position to be a loader at the Olympics because you get side seat, like
Yeah.
best seats in the house, right? So they have competitions, loading competitions for the team. So I remember the first time I saw a loading competition was for the Beijing 2008 Olympics. So you have 5 loaders. They aren't allowed to move. They have to stand up in unison, and then they have to file up onto the platform, which is up some steps, in order. They have a central person that lifts the bar, one person that strips the bar on each side, and the other person that has the secondary weight that puts it back on. And it was literally Formula One. They were so quick. And that's how they got selected to go to the Olympic Games to be the loaders. Here is Henry. Come on, Henry. Not to be. Henry, if you're watching this, more squats, buddy. More squats. Get those legs a little bit stronger to be able to stand those up. Racked it really well. Certainly had good position. It was just the lack of strength. But yeah, going back to the Olympic Games, if you get the opportunity to go and watch some Olympic replays, watch the loaders. Very impressive.
I was just trying to think what the training for that would be.
You'd probably go and do some stair work. 4 steps.
Yeah.
Over and over. Making sure that you're very accurate, kind of like the Formula One, right? You've got a split second to make sure that the wheel goes on straight and that you've got all the bits and pieces that you need. You're not, because half a second in Formula One is a lot of time. So I guess you've got to be cool, calm, and collected under pressure. I have seen at one event, one of the loaders forgot to tighten the collar.
Oh, no.
And all of the weight slipped off as the person had the weight above their head. You would lose your job as a loader very quickly.
Funny enough, that was one of my dreams on Friday night.
Oh, it's an unusual one. My pre-competition dreams are always missing weigh-in.
Oh, really?
Yep. Being at home, looking at the clock, and then just clicking that I've got about 3 minutes to get somewhere that takes 10 minutes to get there, and I miss weigh-in. And it's a bit of a nightmare, that one. Here's Henry. Okay, he's got one more attempt. He's going to have to... He can rack it. We know he can rack it. All of his effort's going to be in standing this up. Oh, he's got it. Oh, he just lost balance. Oh, such a good effort. So good to come back and at least get through that middle portion of the clean. But yeah, you just expend so much energy trying to work your way out of a clean like that. It just 120 odd kilos becomes 190 odd kilos very quickly on your shoulders.
And even if you take the break at the top before you jerk it, it just gets heavier and heavier.
Yeah. Yeah. It's self-talk comes in like, oh gosh, do I have enough to get this overhead? Loaders tightening the bar. This becomes now a first attempt for Braden. Local lifter from Nelson Weightlifting. Lester Keane. It's a good strong clean. Oh, he's solid overhead. Okay. So I think if we see this man stand it up, I think we're going to see pretty much secure overhead. Here comes another lifter that's been contributing all weekend. Is he your coach? No, you're
No,
coached
I'm
by
with Declan. But Declan's now up in the North Island, so Callan looks over me every now and then in Dunedin.
Here's know he's strong and powerful, so this will probably favour him. Comfortable opener. So we've got a couple of athletes left. Everybody's in the competition except Douglas. So we've got 45 for Braden. No doubt Cullen will move to 45 as well. Maybe more. Cullen. I'm going to get told off again. I keep saying Cullen. Cullen.
We've all been there.
Yeah. So we are seeing a shift. He's got 42. I think he's just blowing some recovery. He might change to 45 after he runs the clock down. And then we've got Douglas lifted with 165 after setting a personal best in the snatch with 141. We are getting towards the final stages of session 5, which is our last session for the South Island Weightlifting Champs. Joined by Chanel. How do I pronounce your last name again, Chanel?
Binard.
Binard.
Yeah.
You said there was a longer version of the last name before?
Nah, just
No?
the same. Binard.
Binard.
Yeah. So it's Pi, P-I-E, and then N-A-A-R.
So one thing that I'm learning about is pronunciation of the names in our sport. Obviously, we're a very diverse country now with our communities coming from all around the world.
Yeah, definitely. Yesterday when I was announcing, I had to go backstage and just ask a few athletes, can you help me out, make sure I'm pronouncing this right?
Yeah, it's important too. It shows respect. Shows respect, and I've just been calling Cullen all morning.
We just always call him Cal.
Cal, okay, I'll go with Cal from now on. So Cal's burning the clock down for himself, but I do think he'll move up. I think 45. He's being smart, or whoever is coaching him is being smart. I see Declan hanging around at the back.
Yeah, I think it's Declan and Sui.
So if he went to 45 and then Brandon moved up, sorry, I'm getting all of these names. Braden, if he went to 45 and then Braden moved up, it would have burnt his clock. So Cal has ran the clock down, made a change, moves the call now to Braden, and if Braden moves up, then he'll get more time back. It'll move it back to a minute. So it's clever time changing. Because the last thing you wanted to do was to go straight to 45 and then Braden moves up and you take away your own clock. So that. Oh, here we go. We're ready. Does Braden 145 looked strong in his opener? Solid overhead. Referees. Good lift. Mr. Keane right there. Guiding him to the platform. Now Cal's not waiting around. Can't get it wrong with Cal, can I?
Nah.
We'll see a pretty easy clean here. Easy clean, easy jerk. Referees like it, 3 white lights. More weight on the bar, they say, please. 146 being loaded. Let's have a little look at what that means. So that's the automatic increment. We have Braden has moved through to 147. I'm predicting Both of them will head to 150. 2 different weight categories, obviously not competing together, however, bragging rights. And nobody likes a 147 clean and jerk. Everyone loves a 150. Sorry, Braden.
It's an even number.
Yeah, got to keep it round. If you're out with your friends and they say, what's your clean and jerk? You see 147. The person who says 150 gets the wow. Yeah. So we are just letting the clock wind itself down. Again, more tactical calls. We'll go look at what's happening out the back on that scoreboard. So Cullen.
That's definitely one thing I learned last year at Nationals, was all the strategy behind the sport.
Well, there's nothing worse than when you're a newbie and you're with an inexperienced coach and someone just takes advantage of you at the scoreboard, right? Let's just take away this person's opportunity. And you're like sitting there like, I feel like I just lifted. Why am I being rushed?
Yeah, why am I going again?
Yeah. You can truly outplay someone at the change table. And you can, an athlete that has been preparing themselves for a long time for an event, and it can all be taken away simply because the cheeky coach knows how to work the clock. So we are seeing some really smart play here from Cullen's coaching team out the back. They've just slowed it down, giving that recovery. So it's clever play. Game of chess. So again, another shift. So that's what we keep saying. You're predicting what your opposition's going to do and what you need to do to make sure you're getting the rest that you require, knowing you know your move, but you've got to predict the other person's move. It's pretty much chess on the scoreboard, except your chess pieces weigh 150 kilos.
Yeah.
Here comes Braden. He's looked good in the clean and jerk. Looks good to me. Let's see the reaction. Double fist pump. 3 white lights, success. Good work. It's a good day. Bar is being loaded now to 151 for Cullen. This is his final attempt. He's looked solid. Final attempt, 151 kilograms. He'll be chuffed with that. He's done a lot of work this weekend. Deserves it.
Oh, 100%. The amount of hours, time, weekends this guy puts into the club, it's fantastic.
Yeah. Where do you get the energy for that, though? Adrenaline, right?
Adrenaline, passion.
Yeah. That was brilliant.
It's always amazing what you can do at competitions. As you said, the species that loves an audience.
Yeah. I'm saying, someone was asking me the other day what makes a great weightlifter. I said they've got to be a show-off. It's the great weightlifters, a bunch of show-offs. We're about to watch one shortly. Douglas loves the limelight, and I think he's thriving today because he's got a big crowd and some tele cameras on him. Here we go. 165 kilos. Set a new personal best in the snatch, 141. Wait for the referees. Referees say we're okay. It's a good start. 3 white lights. We will see the comp slow down a little bit again because he will want as much time as possible.
Did you have like a wee routine before you lifted, how Doug's got his wee thing he does?
I do. Mine, I'll go through mine quickly if you wish. So I would walk out behind the platform. I stand off the back of the platform, but in this environment we don't have that much space, so you'd be standing on the platform. My cues: legs, elbows, elbows back, hips and upright. That's what I say to myself.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Sounds like a bit of a tongue twister.
It's kind of like a, I don't know. I got into the habit of it. I tell my athletes to focus on 2 things max, but yet myself, I'm legs, elbows, elbows back, hips and upright. I double tap my right foot on the ground twice, and I walk forward to the barbell. I find my focal point and I say hips, elbows. So when I'm at the bar, I go back to 2 cues. Prior to that, that first cue is legs, elbows, elbows back, hips and upright, which is legs, elbows, so elbows in the receiving back position, legs, elbows, elbows up and hips in towards the ankles and the torso's upright. So it's like kind of positional cues. In the end, it actually didn't mean anything. It was just an established thing that I did. It was my routine. So we will see the clock slow down. These guys taking their time to get the bar centered, which usually means that they've been paid off by the coaching team. Slow it down as much as possible.
Make the most of it.
Yeah. So Chris has asked, can you give some more information on the rules around changing the weight? Yesterday you mentioned there was only so many times you can change the weight. So that's correct, Chris. Straight away after you've lifted, so Doug was successful with 65, the bar automatically moves to 66. You have to declare that within the first 30 seconds. You can change that declaration weight, and then you get a further 2 changes. But the first declaration needs to be done in the first 30 seconds, and the other changes have to happen before the final 30 seconds. Here's Doug's second attempt, 170 kilos. Good. Referees say, oh, we wait 3 white lights, and he's still got 1 left to go. Good work. We're witnessing some fantastic lifting from Douglas Coney Fraser. He's an experienced lifter. He's been around a while. I had Lee in the first session. So what does that mean? I said old, but he's not that old. I think that I was just in New Zealand teams when he was young, so I feel like I've been lifting for the same duration. He must have some substantial years under his belt. But he's just set, I believe, a lifetime total record. So that doesn't matter how long you've been around. If you're in shape, you're in shape. If I said that to any of my athletes right now about being in shape, they'd look at me and say, round is a shape. This seems to be the joke with Richie at the moment. Round is a shape. Highlight of the weekend? What's your highlight? Lifting? Your lifting was great, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I was really impressed.
I think it's more the weekend with the crew. Just like the memories and the laughs and the
Yeah.
jokes and things, and everyone else in the club did really, really well. And then seeing some of the young kids coming through. That really young girl that was lifting yesterday. I can't remember what her name was, but that was really cool to watch.
I get it. I love watching everybody lift, but it's usually the first people on the platform and the last people on the platform. The first people are usually finding their way to the championship event for the first ever time.
Yeah.
And the last people are the ones that have committed a long period of time to get to this point. But I do enjoy watching all weightlifting, and obviously I'm based in Auckland, and I've been absolutely stoked to be down here this weekend to bring you the South Island champs through skysportnext. Thanks, skysportnext. I was also lucky enough that the New Zealand Olympic Committee, I'm an ambassador for them, and I've been round at local primary schools talking about the Olympic Games and the Olympic values for the last 3 days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Signed a few thousand signatures.
Did you get any hand cramp yet?
Oh, once you start one signature, if some kid sees you sign one signature, it's game over. Yeah. You'll be signing signatures forever.
They all just come flooding in.
Can you sign my hat, my hand? But it was really cool because I was down Lower Motueka, so many schools rural, because I grew up rurally. It's just so cool to see these kids light up, and hopefully they'll be excited about the Olympic Games. You never know. One of them might walk into a weightlifting gym and give it a go. You can see this bar's been changed a number of times. We are moving to 176 kilos. Obviously, we wouldn't think we were getting to these weights today, so they haven't got another red plate. So 20 kilo disc, 5 kilo disc, and the little white collar on. Doug's got a minute. Here we go. This is a big lift. This is a New Zealand senior record. Wow. Let's follow him out. This is a massive lift for this man. He's got the whole crowd behind him. He's got 20 seconds. Say, majority decision, no lift. I was looking at those elbows thinking, it doesn't get much closer than that. No. Wow. Great lift. Technical infringement, and the referee said no. And I think I'm going to say that was the right decision.
Yeah.
Yeah. What great lifting, Doug. Well done.
Well, he's got the confidence now. He knows he can hit it.
Mate, that's a massive confidence boost for him, no doubt. Let's have a quick look at the scoreboard. So there are our final placings. Let's have a little read through that in the men's 96. Obviously, Doug well clear with 311. Second place, Braden, 258. In third place, back at 105, we have Caleb. In men's 109. And first we have, I'm just trying to line that up, Matthew. Second we have Jack. And then in the supers we have Cullen, takes away first place with 268. Second with 230 is Henry, and Ben rounds it out in third. What a great afternoon of lifting. I'm going to say a massive thank you to Chanel for joining me in the live stream.
Thanks for the invitation.
And I think you might have a job in the future.
Oh, thanks.
We appreciate the weekend. Congratulations on your lifting as well.
Thank you very much.
We'll hopefully catch up at Nationals. That brings us to the end of the Session 5 2021 South Island Weightlifting Champs. We will join you again live for the Secondary School Weightlifting Championships will be the next event that we come to you. And again, thank you to all of our sponsors. We'll see them on the play out. And that is us signing out for the South Island Weightlifting Championships.